So I want to talk about a patient who I seen where she was diagnosed with depression. She had recently went through a divorce with her husband of 25 years, and they had three kids together. Um, there was some infidelity in the relationship, and she started, speaking up on it. And he didn't want to end the relationship with the female that he was seeing. And so, they decided to go their own way, their separate ways. But instead of him leaving and leaving her and the three children in the home, which is his kids also, he asked her and the children to leave. So he basically put them out. And so she was just speaking on how, you know, it was a nasty divorce and how he is just a different person than she knew, because when they were in the marriage, everything was good. And she just didn't see these negative signs. For example, he took her to court and tried not to pay child support, even though he had the finances to pay it. And like he put her out the home with the children. He continued this relationship with the young lady. So she said it's very hard for her to get out of the bed. She worked from home, and usually she drops her son off in the morning at school and then goes back home and begin her work. But she doesn't have the energy or the focus or the willpower to start working. She just wants to sleep and cry in bed all day. And then she finds herself working at night in the evenings. And she just was saying, like, just she repeatedly sits and thinks about, how nasty the husband is right now, and, the 25 years they had together. So this constantly just replaying in her brain, just her thought content is basically the marriage and all the negative things that he's doing. So, of course, we want to utilize the modality of CBT therapy, and uh, motivational interviewing would have benefited this client, because we could, like CBT would talk about, how these negative thoughts is causing the depression. And so if we change these negative thoughts, then therefore we would, have some type of positive thoughts. And not to say that depression would completely go away, but it will start, to fade away, um, with the help of the medication and therapy, of course. And so the first thing is basically, so she knows that she has the negative thoughts, in which we talked about. So pre-contemplation, um, raises the doubt, and the basically the patient's perception of what they're doing that can change, should change for a positive result. And so, like I said, the negative thoughts that she's thinking all the time is, you know, she's aware of that. And then, the second step of is contemplation, and where you weigh the pros and cons with the patients, and of the change. And of course, the change will be beneficial with her thinking positive. If she would think of, I was telling her to basically think of, some positives. Even though when you were in the relationship, you didn't know that this guy was so nasty, but now looking at him, like how he's responded now, you kind of, like, you got out of a nasty situation, because that's not an ideal husband, someone that will not see his kids but uh, one time this year so far. That's, and then picking the young lady over his children. So you got to think of some, you got to see that it's kind of a good thing that he's no longer around. but everybody doesn't think like that. So, the preparation, she would have to set clear goals or whatnot, and I would help the patient with that, and realistic goals or whatnot to change the way that she thinks for her and also her children. And then maintenance, help the patient like strategize to stick through, um, the change, and try not to relapse. And relapsing is okay, and it is a process of motivational therapy, but it's okay because you can learn the patient, and the patient can learn their weaknesses and their strengths or whatnot to go and try to reevaluate the situation and continue on with the plan or make some changes to the plan. And I would feel comfortable implementing this in my clinical practice. I think it would be appropriate, and I think because of my life lessons and things that I've learned from other people in my life, my friends and family, this would be beneficial. And along with some thorough studying of motivational interviewing, I think it would be a good thing, and I would be comfortable with it. Thank you.